Hi, my name is Leontis, and today I will be leading you through a chakra breathing meditation. So, you may have heard of the chakras before. Um, if you haven't and you want to do more reading, there's a ton of info out there. Just a quick Google search, you will find a lot of information, or there's a lot of books that go into great detail about the chakras. But I'll give you a brief overview before we start our meditation, just to give you some information that will be helpful for our purposes today. And then you can do more research if you want later. So the Sanskrit word chakra literally means a wheel of light. And the belief that goes along with this system is that we have 7 chakras throughout our body that basically lie along the spine, from bottom to top. And then there's an 8th chakra, which they kind of explain as your aura, or sort of the whole completeness of your being, that it sort of surrounds you. But the seven chakras that we'll be dealing with today are, my dog might walk in and out here a little bit. The 7 chakras that we'll be dealing with today are actually located along the spine. And they're numbered from lowest to highest. And we are going to do a meditation that sort of leads you through bringing each one to mind and bringing awareness and focusing your breath to each of the chakras in turn. So the 7 chakra locations that I will just go over briefly. The first one is called the root chakra, and this is located at the base of the spine. So if you want to think kind of, where your tailbone is, you can kind of envision that and feel that. So all the way down into the pelvis to the tailbone. The second chakra is the sacral chakra, and this is a little bit higher up. This is located 6 inches below the belly button, so sort of the low abdomen. Then we get to the solar plexus chakra. This is right below the bottom of the rib cage in the front, kind of 6 inches above the belly button. And then the heart chakra is located the center of your chest. It's called the heart chakra, but it also has to do with the lungs and sort of everything that is in the rib cage. And then the 5th chakra is the throat chakra, so we think of that at the larynx and the throat. And then finally, 2 more, we have the third eye chakra, which is kind of supposed to be, your third eye is right about here, kind of where they put the bindi in India. And then finally, the crown chakra is the crown of the head. So that's a little beyond the spine, obviously, but that is kind of top of the spine and then the crown of the head. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring a greater awareness to where these chakras are in our body. And this is going to have a few very important benefits for us. So each chakra is associated with different aspects of our well-being, and when they're all in balance with each other and working together, we experience a sense of well-being, health, just an overall vitality. If any of these chakras are blocked or out of balance, then they kind of cause disturbances in the whole of the being. So, Eastern medicine is really really focused on the well-being of the total body, mind, and spirit. And it's a much more holistic view of the body than in Western medicine. A lot of times in Western medicine, if we have a headache, then we take a pill specifically for that. Or if we have, a stomach problem, then we take some sort of medicine just for that. And the idea with the chakra system is that it's all really interconnected, and if there's an imbalance in one part of your body, it's going to affect the whole. So by balancing the chakras and bringing them all into a place of well-being, then we will experience a well-being of the whole body, mind, and spirit. So it's really, really interesting way of looking at our well-being and looking at our health. I am very much a believer in science and modern medicine. Both my parents are scientists. I was brought up to believe in facts and, modern science. However, I think there is a lot of wisdom in these ancient systems of understanding our bodies. And I personally have experienced some strong benefits from viewing our body this way and from focusing on the chakras to address certain imbalances. And so I think obviously modern medicine is extremely important, and we need to respect it, but at the same time I think these systems can have a lot of use. So by bringing our attention to our different chakras, using breath and using meditative energy, we can bring some ease and comfort to these areas. So the idea with the chakras is that our prana, which is our life force, our life energy, the idea is that when we are healthy, this prana is flowing through us freely, and it is bringing vitality throughout our body and to our different systems. And it travels through the chakras freely when we are at balance. And if we have a blockage, then the prana is impeded and it can't travel as freely as when we are functioning optimally. So our meditation today is going to focus on finding this freedom for our prana. And just to give you a couple examples, you might be thinking, well, I don't know if I've ever experienced a blockage in my chakras before. And I've had some, as I started learning about the chakras, I had some sort of retroactive epiphanies, oh yeah, I think I have actually felt these sort of disturbances before, and I didn't quite recognize them. And now that I know more about this stuff, I am able to recognize it a little bit more easily. So obviously we're living in a very stressful and just trying time right now. And I've noticed in myself and when talking to friends, several of us have noticed our stomach being tied in knots, or feelings of just a pit in your gut, or just clenching in your stomach area. And it's really interesting to note that the first and second chakras, which is this is that kind of lower belly area, those two chakras are associated a lot with survival and health and sort of like self-reliance and feeling like we can take care of ourselves. So if you have been feeling fearful of the situation in the world or fearful of how you're going to make money going forward, these are really common thoughts going around right now because it's a scary time. And when we have those emotions, a lot of times they are sort of housed in these first and second chakras because this is the part of the body that kind of deals with those survival emotions. So by sending some extra energy and breath down into those lower chakras, we can calm some of that stress and anxiety and begin to release some of those fears and kind of change our perspective a little bit so we're not living in that state of stress and anxiety. Another good example, you may be at times feeling tightness in your chest, or feeling like you can't breathe, any lower than here because it's kind of gripping in here. And this, of course, is our heart chakra location. And if you're, the heart chakra is really, not surprisingly, it's associated with love and strong emotions, having to do with love, or on the flip side, heartbreak or sorrow, and grieving for a loss. And we are all experiencing a lot of loss right now. Loss of our normalcy, loss of plans, loss of people perhaps, loss of income, and this can have a really strong effect on the body, all of these deep feelings. So what can we do about it right now? This meditation I will lead you through is going to explore some of these ideas and explore them from the inside. So when we do a chakra meditation, we're going to go inside. We're going to be feeling our body from the inside. So I want to encourage you to really embrace the idea and the feeling of going inside and finding how to feel these different places in your body from the inside, as opposed to physically touching them. And the breath is really the best way to do this. So to begin our meditation, make sure that you are sitting in a comfortable position. So I'm actually sitting on like a yoga block, so my hips are up a little bit. You can sit cross-legged. You can sit with your legs out. You can also sit in a chair if that's more comfortable. Whatever is going to be a comfortable position for you, so you don't have to be working too hard to sit in one place. And next, just bring your hands down to maybe your knees or in your lap, wherever feels good. And then we're going to close our eyes and begin by just deepening the breath. Feel on each inhalation your rib cage is expanding, your belly is expanding as the diaphragm descends. See if you can notice any gripping in the chest or in the belly, if you're holding any tightness. See if you can just let it go. With each exhale, your ribs come back down, your belly comes back in. Just really deep but also easy breaths here. And if it's comfortable, do breathe in and out of the nose as long as you're not congested. This gives us a deeper, fuller breath. And now, before we dive deeper into the chakra meditation, I want us to spend a couple minutes just kind of locating these areas inside of us. So, first of all, you're going to feel with your breath, feel as if you're breathing all the way down to your root chakra at the base of your spine. So imagine that breath going all the way down your torso, into your pelvis, down, 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 down. And see if you can feel into basically where you're in between your sits bones. So all the way down to where you're seated. And just kind of notice where this is. Take note of what that part of your body feels like from the inside. And then your next breath, bring your attention up a little bit to your low belly. This is our sacral chakra, second chakra. And it's about 6 inches below your navel. Take a few breaths, breathing into this area. Really feeling your belly come out as you locate this part of your body. And then bring your attention up a little further. Our solar plexus chakra is right below the bottom of the rib cage on the front of your body, a little bit above the navel now. See if you can send some breath into this area. This is kind of our epigastrium area. Talk about it in singing quite a bit, feeling some support there sometimes. And then moving up a little further, the heart chakra at the center of your chest. Maybe feeling the heart and lungs here. Noticing if there's any tightness. And then a little further up, we get to our throat chakra, number 5. And another very important chakra. They're all important, but this one has to do with our speech and our singing, expressing ourselves. As you breathe, bring your awareness to your throat, your larynx. And then moving up to the 6th chakra, the third eye chakra at the brow. Another place we often tense or hold tension, I certainly do. So imagining that you can soften there between your eyes at the third eye. And then finally, the crown of the head, crown chakra. Imagining that your scalp could soften. We actually do hold tension up there too sometimes. Bringing awareness to the top of your head. Keeping your breath deep and free. Our next portion of our meditation, now that we have located all of these areas within ourselves, now we're going to go through a sequence of breath where we are sending one breath to each chakra. So we'll start with one breath to the first chakra, and then the next breath to the second, and so on all the way up. And then we'll go back down, and we'll do this sequence 3 times. So this will bring some breath and thoughtful energy to these different locations, and will lead to hopefully some balancing between the chakras. And I want you to really notice as you do this, notice if any of these areas feel tighter than the others. Notice if any of them, if bringing breath to any of them brings up any emotions for you. This is really important information for you to have. And if you do notice any sort of disruptions or any potential blockages in any of these areas, just kind of make a mental note, and you might need to bring some further attention to those areas. So, beginning our more regimented meditation now. With your next breath, send the breath all the way down to the root chakra, inhaling fully all the way down to the base of the spine, and then letting that air out all the way from that first chakra. Next breath, send your breath to the sacral chakra, feeling the breath go down to that low belly, and then letting it out. Next breath, we send to our solar plexus, breathing into that area and then releasing it. Next breath, inhale to the heart, and then exhale, release it. Next breath goes just to the throat, and let it out. Next breath, we breathe to our third eye and release it. And now a breath bringing energy to the crown chakra, crown of the head, and release it. Next breath, we go back to the third eye center and release it. Next inhale goes to the throat, And exhale that out. Next breath, a little deeper to the solar plexus. And release. Next, inhale to the sacral chakra, low belly, and release it out. And now all the way down, inhale to the root chakra, and let it all the way out. One cycle complete. Next inhale goes back to the sacral chakra, and release. Inhale next to the solar plexus, and release. Inhale to the heart, and release. Inhale to the throat, and release. Inhale, third eye, and release. Inhale to the crown chakra, and release. Inhale back, third eye, and release. Inhale to the throat, and release. Inhale down to the heart, and release. Inhale all the way down to the sacral, solar plexus, and release. Now down to the sacral chakra, release. And now all the way down to the root chakra, and release. Last round. Let's do this one on our own. So you have that map now going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So continue on your own, see if you can replicate what we just did. When you have gotten all the way back down to the root chakra, resume your deep breathing and see if you can, on each inhale, feel like your breath is passing through all 7 of these chakras. And for the next couple minutes, focus on this new awareness of these areas of your body. And imagine your prana is just passing through each chakra freely, flowing freely from one to the next. And I hope you enjoyed that chakra meditation. This is something you can do very easily, when you wake up in the morning or before you go to sleep or during the day if you feel like you need some breath and some attention to these different parts of your body. So I encourage you to do it frequently. This is one of my favorite meditations to go to when I'm stressed. So thanks for joining me. My plan is to next do a chanting chakra meditation, so look out for that, hopefully coming soon. And I wish you health and well-being. Namaste.